My name is Seraphina Dusk, and this is the story of how revenge tore my family apart, yet rebuilt me into someone unrecognizable. When people hear my name, they often imagine softness, poetry, maybe even innocence. But in truth, my life has been anything but innocent. I grew up in a quiet town in Montana, where my family was respected, almost feared. My father, Lucian Dusk, was a powerful businessman, and my mother, Isolde, was known for her calm wisdom. My younger brother, Kale, was my closest friend, my shadow, and my partner in all secrets. But every family has cracks, and ours began with betrayal. It was one cold November evening when I learned that my uncle Damien, Dusk, had stolen everything my father worked for. It wasn't just money. It was land, property, and influence. My father's legacy was reduced to ash overnight. But Damien wasn't satisfied with just power. He wanted destruction. Within weeks, whispers spread that my father had been laundering money, accusations that turned friends into enemies. The pressure broke him, and one December morning, I found him lifeless in his office, a gun still warm in his hand. I remember the silence. I remember the way my mother's scream echoed through the house. And I remember vowing, with Kale at my side, that Damien Dusk would pay. Revenge isn't born in an instant. It grows slowly, feeding on grief and rage. Kelly and I spent years gathering information. Damien had moved to Seattle, built a company named Obsidian Enterprises, and lived in a glass mansion overlooking the bay. To the world, he was a philanthropist. To us, he was a murderer wearing a silk tie. Kale believed in striking loud and fast. "We burn him down," he would say. But I was colder. I wanted Damien to feel what my father felt: paranoia, shame, and despair. So we planned quietly. I posed as a corporate consultant, reinventing myself under a new identity: Selene Ward, with forged documents, a sharpened tongue, and a talent for lies. I slipped into Damien's empire. He didn't recognize me. How could he? I was no longer the shy girl from Montana. I was polished, ambitious, and dangerous. It wasn't difficult to win his trust. Men like Damien thrive on admiration, and I fed his ego until he handed me access to things he shouldn't have. Bank accounts, confidential files, secrets that could shatter him. Every night, I fed information to Kale, who was pulling strings behind the scenes. But revenge has a price. Kale grew restless. He wanted Damien dead, and he wanted it fast. I kept delaying, weaving a web around our uncle's life, until Kale finally acted without me. One stormy night, he confronted Damien at his mansion. I wasn't there, but I later learned the truth. They fought. Words became fists, fists became weapons. And by the time I arrived, Kale was on the floor, blood seeping into the marble, and Damien stood over him, alive but shaken. Kale's last words to me were, "Finish it." And I did. I didn't kill Damien with a blade or a bullet. That would have been too merciful. Instead, I released every secret I had gathered. Within weeks, the press tore him apart. His company crumbled, his allies abandoned him, and the government opened a case that left him bankrupt and broken. He lost everything just like my father. One winter morning, Damien was found dead in his prison cell. Officially, it was suicide, but in my heart, I know it was despair that killed him. The same despair he had gifted my father. Now, when I look at myself in the mirror, I barely recognize the woman staring back. My name is Seraphina Dusk, and my story is not about justice. It is about the poison of revenge, how it consumes, how it destroys, and how it leaves you victorious yet hollow. I won, but at what cost? My father is gone, my brother is gone, and I am left standing in the ashes of a family name that once meant everything. Still, if I had to choose again, I would, because some wounds never heal until they are avenged. Thanks for watching my video.